East Stroudsburg University Wrestling with head coach Joey Rivera and redshirt junior Brendan McKeown, as the Warriors come off the NCAA Super Region 1 tournament and 3 national qualifiers. Joey, just start with you. Talk about the 3 guys, Braden Turner, and Tyson Searer, and especially Brendan's well-deserved honor at the end of the tournament.
We got the 3 guys through who we thought we were going to get through. In the rankings and the seedings, we had 3 guys in the top 4 qualify. So those are the guys we thought we'd get through. We were hoping for a few others, but it didn't pan out that way. But Brendan here, he wrestled his butt off. Upset the #1 kid in the country, defending national champion in a heck of a match. Had to overcome a lot of adversity during that match, and stayed composed and did what he's been doing all year long. And stayed the course, kept to the game plan, and got the big win there. Put him in good position to come to the national tournament. The other 2 guys, Tyson and Braden, both had some adversity. Lost matches that they weren't technically supposed to, came back through, fought hard in the consolations, and got their ticket to Alabama. And that's the big part at this point, is get yourself to the big time, to the big show, and now we'll let all the hard work pay off here at the big time when we get to Alabama.
Yeah, as we've talked about, it really doesn't matter going into a tournament where you're seated. Last year, and Brendan and Braden were both national qualifiers coming through as the #6 seed. So, Brendan, just talk about your weekend. You had the first 2 matches on Friday night that you got through, and you set up a match I'm sure you've been looking forward to against Lance from Pitt Johnstown. Just talk about that match first as you're able to get to the final.
Of course, that match has been hanging over my head all year. My practice partner, Luke DeLuise, and coach have been making fun of me for the past couple of months, and that he's going to come after me and take my head off again, and things made me quit because that was the match I under defaulted against. But it was a big match. Not only that, but just to get back to the national tournament. A kid like Adam Lushak, who had 75+ wins and only made it to the tournament once, it was just such a stress reliever to kind of win that match, not only for myself, but just to know, okay, now I'm a 2-time NCAA qualifier. Now I can go there. Now I can focus on taking care of business and being an All-American.
Yeah, and you won the match against Lance 8-5 to get to the final, and then you got to take on a guy who had won 3 regional championships already, was ranked 1 in the country, was a defending national champion at the 165-pound weight class. Go through that match. I believe it was scoreless after 1. And then in the second period, you had some adversity. Just go through second and third period in that match.
Second period, he chose down. I tried riding him the best I could. I think I racked up around 36 seconds of riding time, and he eventually got out. We had a few good scrambles and exchanges, but with about 3 seconds left, I kind of for lack of a better term, I basically stopped wrestling because I knew there was no way I could get taken down. And he got in on a deep shot, and then right as the whistle blew, he finished the shot, and it kind of knocked the wind out of me, and kind of I needed to take a injury time, unfortunately, and then it kind of motivated me and got me going, actually, and everybody's saying, all right, well, can you continue, and I just got this extra burst of energy, and then third period he took down, and I rode him for another 20 seconds or so, had about 54 seconds of riding time, and we went out of bounds, and I just had a feeling all right, I can take him down, just from the tie-ups and everything, and feeling him out the first 2 periods. I knew I was capable of taking him down, and I got in a deep shot out of bounds, and I just kind of felt it, and just kind of used my intensity, and eventually finished. And
you knew once you had the takedown, it was 2-2, and you had the riding time advantage. If you can ride him out the last 30 seconds, then you win the bout. But with him having gained the 2 escapes earlier in the match, I'm sure those last 30 seconds seemed like they just went on forever.
They did. I think he may have stood up about 3 times. I think I returned him 3 times. I remember he tried Granbean, and we've been working on it all year, actually, and I followed him perfect, and then he stood up again, and I pulled him over me, and I landed with a bar, and I remember looking up at the clock with 6 seconds left thinking, oh my God. Because I've been telling myself all year, you can ask Coach ever since I came here, I said I want to be a national champion, and I truly believe it from day one, but to get to the point where I'm beating a national champion now, it really kind of puts the statement on, and I really, I've always known it, but now I really, really know it, and I'm just really looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
Joey, we talked before the regional that if you had a shot at Williams, you thought you had a chance to go after him. Obviously, Brendan hasn't been beaten on the mat this year. He's 20-1 with the injury default. But going into nationals, I'm sure you have some expectations for him, but things that he's going to be able to live up to.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. You know, we knew, Mike Williams was the guy to beat in the weight class this year. After we found that he was going up from 165 to 174, we put a target on his back, and he knew he had that target, and everyone was going to be coming after him. But from talking to a lot of other coaches, even going through the regional tournament, nobody thought that anybody had a chance at him. He's that strong and physical and technical of a wrestler. He's just that good. But we knew, both myself and Brendan, we knew that we had a good style for him. We knew that we could, meet all his strengths, and we can surpass him in intensity and will to win. And that's what took Brendan through that tournament and through that match. So that was a huge win for him. Like you said, since day one, he's come in here knowing and wanting to get that national title. And seeing Shane Mallory go through the process his redshirt freshman year, I think gave him a lot of belief in that, seeing where Shane came from and what he did to get to that level of being in the NCAA finals and a step away from being the national champion. He knew he could do the same thing, and it's been a long 4 years of hard work and year-long training and belief in the philosophies that I have as a coach, but more so in himself. And all came to fruition, this past weekend. But the job's not done. We still got, a week and a half of training going into the national tournament, and we've got 4 matches to win out there. And without a doubt, Brendan can go on to be a national champion. He's got all the tools in his arsenal, all the physical tools, the mental tools, the heart and determination, the work ethic, everything that you need to be a national champion. Brendan has. We just have to make sure that we do the right thing over the next week and a half in his training, and he goes in confident, and I think he is.
Braden Turner went last year as well, was an All-American. As you said, found himself with some more work to do over the weekend. But he and Tyson Searer both made the semifinals and had to battle back. What is it like in a tournament setting like that? Most of the top wrestlers did what they had to do Friday, and then it seemed like it just all broke loose on Saturday. There were only 3 1-2 matchups in the final, including Brendan at 74. So I'm sure for those guys, they had to steal their desire a little bit to be able to get through.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. We have a kind of a going conversation since last year with the athletes on the team that you want to do your job in the championship bracket. You want to get through to where you need to get through, so that the pressure's off and you can just go compete. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out for some of these guys. And going back to last year with Braden and Thad Frick on the team, they knew if you fell into the contests, it was time to go to war and put your camo on. And that's been a conversation that we've had since last year is, bring your camo just in case we want to put it in the bag until we need it. And these guys needed it this past weekend. So they brought their camo, they put it on, they went to war in the consolation bracket, and they did what they needed to do, ultimately getting the bid to nationals and wrestling their way through it. Every year there are good guys who are left home. One of Braden's only losses this year is to a returning All-American who didn't qualify for nationals in Bobby Williams. He didn't qualify for nationals. He's a returning All-American, 5th place last year. He didn't qualify. So good guys are left home out of every region every year, and we didn't want that to be us. So Tyson and Braden did what they had to do to get through the tournament, and now it's anybody's ball game.
Brendan, now that you guys are all through, you and Braden obviously were there last year. Tyson Searer is a very talented 197-pounder. He was ranked 1 in the region for most of the year. How can you guys help him as he has his first experience going down to Alabama?
Now that we're going back, we kind of know how to train and what to expect. It's a whole other style of wrestling out there. Me being OW, me beating the #1 kid in the nation last weekend, that means nothing. Because I could go out, I could go 0-2, I could go out, I can go 4-0 and be a national champion. No matter what, you need to bring it, and you need to train like you're going to compete at that highest level. And now I know exactly how I need to train in order for me to be successful. And I'm just going to pass down my knowledge to a kid like Tyson, and Braden could pass down his knowledge as well. You got things as far as technique. Tyson is one of the best kids in the nation. He's one of the best kids in the practice room. I love going with him, but it's just that mental aspect and the little match management things that he needs to clean up, and he's right there contending for a national title, hopefully with the rest of us.
All right, you guys are off to Alabama the week after this, and Friday and Saturday, and a lot of good things hopefully for the horse, so thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.